It's your man, 100 grand, Ross for The Rock Never Stops. Just wanted to hop on real quick, do a little video about the Pacers. Now, I know most of Piston fans hate the Pacers, but they're doing their thing. They are doing their thing. They're in the Eastern Conference Finals. Game 6 coming up tomorrow evening. And I got my money on the Pacers. I mean, I don't bet. I don't gamble. I don't do that because I hate to lose. Even a dollar. It don't matter. But I'm not worried at all. I think the Pacers got this wrapped up. I think they were tired. I think they put out a lot of energy in game 5. I'm sorry, in game 4 to get that victory and to go up 3-1. When I looked at the press conference, I looked at Tyrese Halliburton's body language. I said, "Oh, he's exhausted. Like he's not just tired; he's exhausted." And when I saw his body language in Game 5, I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, he's still tired." And for me, it reminds me of like a boxing match. We'll have a guy who has a dominant round, and then they kind of take the next round off, and that's what happened. Pascal Siakam looked a little tired. I think Tyrese Halliburton only attempted like what 5 or 6 shots in the whole game. Andrew Nemhard tried to, have a magical moment, couldn't. But I thought there was a lot of other things that worked well for the Pacers that only made me that much more confident that Game 6 they're going to be just fine. Let me just start off with as ineffective as Miles Turner has been, Benedict Mathurin has come to life in this series. He has reemerged as a factor, and that should be scary for the Knicks. The fact that he's dropping back-to-back 20-point games in the Eastern Conference Finals off the bench should be scary because that means that they don't have to play Ben Shepherd. And Ben Shepherd, who, for the most part, Jalen Brunson has used as a cone. He's been food from the moment he stepped on the court. When you bring Mathurin off the bench instead of Shepherd, I think what it allows you to do is to say, yeah, but this guy's going to come back at you. I'm not saying that Mathurin's a better defender at all, but he's going to come back at you. He's going to offer some pop in a way that Ben Shepherd, many times he looks, I'm not going to say scared of the moment or skittish, but he just looks like like he's trying not to mess up. He's one of those safe guys that you get at the back end of the draft and you find someone who is not going to mess things up. He's not going to disrupt the flow. He's going to come in, he's going to do his job, and he's going to be at a solid average. He's going to get you a C performance at least every single night, and it will at least not take away from your guys. But in the Eastern Conference Finals, in the playoffs, you don't need a guy who's not going to mess up. You need a guy who's going to give you something, who's going to add a factor to the game. Speaking of adding a factor, did y'all see Jarris Walker? My man Jarris Walker, yo, for those of y'all, look, some of y'all don't understand how I got started in this Detroit business in terms of doing a channel. I've been a long time follower of Detroit business. I go back to the Bad Boys, Dennis Rodman and them, and John Sally and all them. And then I also go back to the Rodney Stuckeys and Charlie Villanuevas, and of course the Rip Hamilton and Chauncey and Rashid and Ben and Tayshawn and Lindsay and so I've been around for a while, but doing a consistent channel on a team, a lot of it has had to do with the Thompson twins coming to the league. Following them, I thought Jarris Walker was going to be the pick for the Detroit Pistons. That was actually who I wanted. And if you guys are watching him play right now, I think you're seeing it. Now, fair or unfair, Indiana Pacers held Jarris Walker out for his whole rookie year. They put him in the G League, and they said, just work on your shot. Work on your three-point shot because we need somebody who can play on the wing. We need a versatile forward who can play on the wing. And when I saw Jarris Walker's game coming out of University of Houston, I saw somebody who could be a defender who could defend all 5 positions, who could initiate offense almost like a Draymond Green, had a nice handle, had the ability to get downhill, get to the rim, post up, He's an excellent passer, really high IQ, great feel for the game. So when the Detroit Pistons passed up on Jarris Walker, I was like, "Yo, what the fuck? What's going on, man?" And then I realized, oh, they saw something I didn't. They was in workouts, I wasn't. And we all see how it's playing out. Sar Thompson just looks like he has a higher ceiling. And yet, Jarris Walker still looks damn good. We did the same with Jaden Ivey. We selected the guy who has a higher ceiling. But Benedict Mathurin still looks damn good in the playoffs. I think the Indiana Pacers unlocking those two, along with Obi Toppin really finding his stride against the Knicks. And you still got Pascal and you still got Tyrese and TJ and Holly. I think they got this thing wrapped up. I'm not worried at all. Yo, what's going on, GT's Entertainments? Um, Not sure we already said, but the Pacers are loaded and play a freestyle. They may have the most offense that OKC will see from top to bottom. I think that's really true. I think that's true. They play a great uh, style of play that fits their point guard, that fits their star player. Um, I just think last night Tyrese Halliburton was tired. He was tired. He was exhausted. But I think we see a different Tyrese Halliburton in Game Six. I think we see a Tyrese Halliburton that's ultra aggressive, getting downhill, getting to the basket, moving the ball, pushing in transition, even on made buckets. I think we see a different energy from him altogether. You said, I love Jarris. I always thought he was like Isaiah Stewart defensively. I think he's even better. I think Jarris Walker is closer to Draymond Green defensively, except he's 6'8", 240 pounds, with a 7'2" wingspan, 7'3" wingspan, something like that. Probably has better handles than Draymond Green, too. I think he's about as good of a passer as well. Like, if I'm honest with you, I think the Pacers may look even better next year. The Pacers might look even better next year because I think they do the consolidation trade, right? They package Obi Toppin and TJ McConnell, and they probably ship both of them out to someplace like Portland and go get DeAndre Ayton, which I would understand because Miles Turner's lack of rebounding, lack of physicality, lack of interior finishing is just glaring. I mean, it's glaring. You can't get outplayed by both Carl Anthony Towns and get outplayed by what's his name, the center for the Knicks, the backup center. Um, I don't know why I'm thinking Nick Richards. What's his name? Pull it up real quick. Uh, what's his name? Help me out. Pull it up. Knicks. What's his name? Because he's been balling. He's been killing him. Uh, Mitchell Robinson. My man, Mitchell Robinson. You can't get outplayed by Mitchell Robinson and Carl Anthony Towns on both ends of the court. You can't have Carl Anthony Towns run past you like you're a cone, especially when you look like you're standing on stilts already. You can't then get beat up by Mitchell Robinson on the glass and get absolutely dominated by him and just look small by both centers playing your position, bro. Like Miles Turner looks really bad right now. And I know he's had some moments, block shot here, a finish there. The shot seems to have abandoned him. And I always keep telling y'all, for those of y'all who are like, gotta resign Malik Beasley to the Detroit Pistons, we gotta resign him, we gotta keep Tim Hardaway Jr. and shooters and shooters and shooters and shooters. How many just shooters do you see on the court in the playoffs? How many guys who are pure shooters, meaning they aren't defenders, they're not plus defenders, they're not facilitator, playmakers, or shot creators. They're not guys who give you rebounding or versatility. Guys who really their contribution is almost solely derived from their shooting ability. Those guys are not on the court. Those guys are not on the court. The closest thing I could think of was like Sam Merrill in Cleveland. Even he was getting eaten up. They ate him up all night. You look at guys like Beasley, as soon as the shot goes, which I keep telling y'all in the playoffs, your 3-point shot is going to drop down significantly in efficiency because everyone is game planning, everyone is playing hard, and you're not getting the Charlottes, you're not getting the Portlands, you're not getting the guys who don't care about defense. You're getting the 6'7" athletic two-way guy who does nothing but defend. Those guys are less valuable in the playoffs. Valuable during the regular season because they catch you lacking. It's an 82 game season. You're tired. Okay. It's good to have that guy somewhere along the bench, but not for major minutes, not in a playoff game. We're seeing with Miles Turner, he's real limited when his shot's not dropping. When his shot's not dropping, he's real limited. And I'll tell you this much, if and when they get to the NBA Finals, he's going to look even more limited because now he's not shooting over Karl Anthony Towns on defense, shooting over Chet Holmgren, banging with Isaiah Hardenstein, having to chase Jalen Williams around who might be playing the four. Get to some of these comments. Uh, yeah, that's been glaring this playoff for Miles for sure. He was thinking he was a four for us. Big Mitch been looking like a beast. I keep telling y'all, everybody wants to trade for Miles Turner. Like, oh man, look what he could do. I'm telling you, man, when you're a playoff team, you don't judge guys by the regular season. You judge them in the playoffs because that's what you're drafting for. That's what you're signing for. That's what your outlook is. You don't need just a guy who looks good in the regular season. You need a guy who can be a dog in the playoffs. Because what's funny is Ben Shepherd, I believe, shoots a higher 3-point percentage than Aaron Neesmith. But the more effective player was Aaron Neesmith because of his defense on Jalen Brunson. And even then, because of his defensive ability and rebounding and ability to get out in transition and finish and get to the free throw line, he's had more opportunities to shoot, which has created more opportunities for him to step into those threes and have big games like he did. I believe it was in game 1 or 2, right? So when we consider what a shooter looks like in the playoffs, many times it looks like a guy who may not be as good of a shooter as someone else, but because they do so many other things, you need him to just keep shooting. And then he gets hot. Because at a certain point, if I need you to shoot and they're giving you shots, you might as well just shoot that hole with confidence. You might as well just shoot that thing and just let it go. And just let it go. Let me see. You're right. This new era is all about versatility. Facts. One way of playing is just one strength will get you killed in today's NBA. Facts. The single skilled guys are no longer desirable. If all you play is one side of the ball, the Tony Allen types, guys who are maybe great, phenomenal on defense. Now you're a liability on offense, right? Now you become someone whom the other team's best player can be hidden on in the playoffs, right? They don't have to play defense. Jalen Brunson against a Tony Allen can just sit in the corner, not play defense, and rest up to come back on offense. That position is really ineffective. Same as a guy like a Malik Beasley. Great offensive shooter, great shooter. And when he gets into the playoffs, and now you have Mikal Bridges, OG Ananobi closing out on you hard, Josh Hart closing out on you hard, playing you physical, up close. Now all of a sudden your 6'3" height really begins to get exposed. And you can't get that shot off the same. Now you're rushing it. Now it doesn't drop with the same regularity. So then you're expected to contribute someplace else while you look to work yourself in. And now we realize you're not a good defender either. So now your shot's not dropping and you're not a good defender. It's a bad look. It's a bad look for when it matters the most. Salute, salute. What's good, calm guy? Like you're definitely right about the pure shooters, especially Boston. Yep. They had pure shooters, but when the shots weren't dropping, they crumbled. Facts. That's why I actually think Boston, one of the directions they can go, if they don't trade Jalen Brown, which I don't think they will, but I think he would be desirable for a lot of teams. If they don't trade him, I wanted them to draft this kid out of Florida State. He's a young man. I like a lot. Y'all go check him out. Go check this young man out. Uh, pull him up here. His name is Jameer Watkins. Jameer Watkins out of Florida State. I like him a lot. Measures out at about 6'7" in shoes. Really good wingspan. Um, really good athleticism. Played a really versatile role for Florida State. Uh, was ball handling a lot. Played a lot of point guard for them. Increased his volume of shooting. It wasn't at an average rate. It was at like 32, 33%, but he was shooting 5 attempts a game. He was growing his game, which is always a good thing for me. When you see a player being given more responsibility over the course of his college career, and he's already athletic with good NBA positional size, and he's increasing his skill level, similar to Cam Jones and Marquette. When you see that guy continue to take steps, even if it's not where you want it to be, you see the progression, you see the trend. And I think that he's somebody that the Boston Celtics should definitely take a look at. I wouldn't even be mad if the Pistons take a look at him. A two-way guy. I don't know if you followed the pre-draft camp, but my man Tahad Pettiford had a dope first game, and then the second game he had Jameer Watkins on him, and I think I want to say Jameer Watkins probably ripped him 2, 3 times, uh, and then stole the ball off of his pass another 2, 3 times. I want to say in like the first half, he had like 5 or 6 steals on him. Absolutely shut him down. That type of a player immediately, because Taha Pettiford is quick, athletic, springy. He looked real bouncy in that first game. And then all of a sudden you saw, oh, okay, what an NBA level athlete and defender looks like. And it looked different. That guy I would love to have on the Pistons, playing next to Rodney Holland coming off the bench. I know some of y'all, like I said, some of y'all want the shooters. You want the Malik Beasleys and Tim Hardaway Jr. I would rather have a far better defender who's a lesser shooter than a great shooter who's not a good defender. Let me get to some of these comments. All right, my Orioles over here. I'm curious, what do y'all think the Pacers look like either in game 6 or in the finals? Because if I'm honest with you, I think the Oklahoma City Thunder are a bad matchup for Indiana. They're a bad matchup for Indiana. I think they expose too many areas. I don't think that the Indiana Pacers have the length, especially in the front court, to really deal with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think you see a lot more Pascal, Obi Toppin, and Jarris Walker. Or if the Knicks win the next game, they win the series. I believe so too. I believe so too. The next game is a must win for the Indiana Pacers. It is their this is it. This is it. They're not going back to New York and getting a win. I don't see that. I don't see that. I think they play with too much confidence in New York. And I think Jalen Brunson just comes out blazing. But I do think I will say this. Tyrese Halliburton is also evolving in these playoffs. I think he realizes he has to be ultra aggressive. I think his coaches know that, his team knows that. And I think he's recognizing when he is ultra aggressive, meaning he's taking 10 to 15 shots at least a game, and he's getting over 20 points, his team is at its best because he finds that magical balance of scoring and passing that keeps a defense off balance the entire time, similar to how Cade Cunningham can do. All right. Cade isn't the same level of passer. Tyrese is not the same level of scorer, but your ability to do both. And I would say Halliburton is far more efficient, though I think he's more passive offensively in terms of scoring at times, whereas Cade is always going to bring it. When you can keep a defense off balance throughout the playoffs perpetually, it allows you to consistently put your team in position to exploit an opportunity, whether it's a kick out, hockey assist, backdoor, whether it's a post up mismatch, whether it's a dump off, lob. There's always something that opens up because the defense is trying to figure out what to do with you. So Tyrese Halliburton is going to give them a shot at any step. I will say this: if Indiana loses a close game six, I mean a close game six, I would not count them out for game seven. If they get beaten, I'm talking about solidly where New York looks in control the whole time. I think there's no way they win game seven. I think that's a clear sign someone's either tired, injured, and we just don't know yet, and they just don't have it. But I doubt that's the case. I think Pacers win in game six. Let me see. OKC is a bad matchup for the Pacers, but a terrible matchup for the Knicks. Yeah, yeah. I think Lewin's Dort guarding Jalen Brunson or Tyrese Halliburton is going to give them hell. Absolute hell. I mean, absolute hell. He's one of them low to the ground, stocky, athletic, high motor, tenacious, handsy, physical, in your shorts types of defenders that just man, you just can't wait to get this guy off of you, bro. I remember I used to hoop back in the day with my cousin who was a track runner. He was one of those dudes who was just fast for no reason all the time. Like ever since we was kids, he had like these like huge legs and could just run past everybody. We'd play tackle football on the lawn with the neighborhood kids, and we'd be like tearing his shirt all the time, trying to just slow him down, trying to just reach and grab for something. So damn athletic. But then when we would play basketball, well, I was the basketball player. He was the football player, soccer, not soccer, track and field guy. And of course, I'm out here giving him the little shake, crossover, in and out, little step back. I'm giving him everything. I'm giving him the work. But he was one of those defenders, bro. Based off his athleticism and his motor and his physicality, just made it hell. And back then, it wasn't no taboo about, landing under your feet, stuff like that, challenging a shot. He used to hit my hand, my elbow, bump, push, scratch, land under my feet when I'm landing. So I'm worried about my landing, not the shot. And I'm sitting there complaining. He's like, bro, get over it. And I'm just like, man, fuck you, dude. I'll be hella bad, man. I hated playing against that type of dude, man. But it was mad competitive. I still got mine. He got his. Right? That's the type of defender Dort is, man. And when you have a Dort and you're bringing in Aaron Wiggins off the bench, then you got Alex Caruso, then you got Jalen Williams. It's just like, damn, hot damn. You got so many defenders, so many long, athletic, physical fucking defenders. I think it's going to be hell for whoever they face. Now, the reality is, what you really need to beat Oklahoma City is the ability to punish them physically on the interior. I don't know if Karl Anthony Towns has the mindset. He's showing the mindset right now, if I'm honest. He's showing the mindset. But Karl Anthony Towns is a weirdo, bro. He's a weirdo. Some of his fouls, some of the things he does on the court, absolutely has you looking at him like, bro, what's wrong with you, bro? What's wrong with you? And that's why I don't think he's going to be as effective because OKC is not going to have a hard time at all hunting him. At all. Indiana really doesn't have that many guys who can hunt Karl Anthony Towns. They really have like maybe two guys, maybe two and a half in that starting lineup. Halliburton, Siakam, maybe a little Nemhard, razzle dazzle, but he don't really draw fouls like that. And they've still been getting them into foul trouble. Just off of stupidity. But you can imagine when OKC sees Karl Anthony Towns. And you've got SGA, Jalen Williams. You got Chet Holmgren you got to deal with. You got Isaiah Hartenstein, who's going to love hitting the glass. And you're pulling Karl Anthony Towns out and pick and rolls nonstop. Then you're defending them with Caruso, with Chet behind them, and Hartenstein and Williams, and all these guys digging down on the ball, help defense, forcing them to make quick decisions. It's gonna be hell. It's gonna be hell. I don't think either team has a chance in hell against OKC. Yeah, Cat too inconsistent. He's like a Julius Randle, but slightly better. Facts, facts. He's about that much better than Julius Randle, and I wouldn't trust either in a high leverage situation, as we saw against OKC. Julius Randle, I think Julius Randle just wanted to go home. He looked like he had quit all in him. Like he didn't want to be there anymore. He's like, man, I'm tired of these motherfuckers, man. They out here getting into me every time I dribble. They bumping me. They reaching, they scratching, slapping at the ball. It's annoying as hell. And then when I finally get it away from them, got this long ass motherfucker Chet Holmgren blocking my shot. Cat didn't want. Cat don't want any of that. Julius Randle didn't want any of that. Julius Randle's like, man, shit, I'd rather join OKC than have to worry about that. No, Julius Randle is not as good as Cat at all. But I think both of them this much. I think for sure, uh, neither of them have the processing, the high level processing to be able to deal with the Oklahoma City Thunder defense at all. But hey, y'all, we're gonna see you tomorrow night. Just want to hop on real quick, tell y'all what I thought about these playoffs. I'm gonna get at y'all soon. If you enjoyed the video, smash the like button for me, subscribe and the bell for notifications. Get at y'all next time. Peace.